Breaking news from the Stat Trade Times. Freight payment platform PayCargo has received 125 million US dollars Series B investment from global venture capital and private equity firm Inside Partners. This is the second investment by Inside Partners in PayCargo. In September 2020, the private equity firm had invested 35 million US dollars. With the latest round of funding, PayCargo intends to accelerate PayCargo's mission to bring modern payment solutions to its increasingly global base of customers. According to PayCargo, the fintech innovator is on track to process 10 billion US dollars of freight-related payments in 2021. This is a 250% increase from 2020. PayCargo is the largest independent freight payments network of its kind, with over 67,000 active users remitting and receiving payments on the platform and thousands more joining each month. PayCargo was founded on the vision of building a modern freight payment network that lowers transaction cost, accelerates cargo release, and increases business agility and growth across the entire supply chain. Earlier today, I spoke to the Global Chief Growth Officer of PayCargo, Thomas Wieweg. How does this feel and what are you going to do with the money?
Good question. I mean, it's obviously very exciting. I think it's a testament to the work that we're doing here at PayCargo, and having Insight continue to support us in the way that they are is feels really good. I think over the last year and a half, as we've dealt with COVID, there's definitely a change within the industry where we're seeing sort of unprecedented demand for digital solutions, and obviously payments and data are a big part of those solutions. And so, we've had ongoing demand from our customers for additional business case products to help them solve problems, create efficiency, which we've continued to build. We have a pipeline filled of integrations with some of the largest names within the industry, ERP systems and terminal operating systems. And so PayCargo as a whole is growing really fast, which is one of the reasons why we decided to go back to Inside our partners and say, look, for us to meet this demand and continue to support the industry, we thought it was the right time to go ahead and do a Series B.
So how much funding have you raised so far? It's the two rounds from the Inside Partners.
I think what was it, 35 in the first round, and this one was 125.
And do you have any other investors already on board?
We do. We have a family office that came in a few years back. Obviously it wasn't as big enough round, but they've been big supporters of PayCargo since the early days. And we also, about 2 years ago, relaunched PayCargo Capital, which is our finance division. And we took in some investment into that as well.
Thomas, how do you intend to deploy the latest funding, and what are some of your top priority to scale up your business?
First and foremost, I think, we're trying to really make PayCargo a global payment platform. We've launched in Europe about 18 months ago. The business model is slightly different in Europe, but I think we finally sort of tapped into what our customers need over there. So we're going to be developing further in Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. In order to do that, we've got to add some substantial human capital from business development, sales, management, and then more importantly, because we're constantly developing digital tools, we need to add to our technology team. Today, our technology team is all US based, mainly in Miami. We do that so that we have, close touch points with the group. We work very closely between the product team and our engineers to develop all sorts of new products to support not only the U.S. markets but Europe and the global product development as well.
Thomas, can you give us a sense of the amount of freight-related payments that you track on annual basis? I've seen a number, something like 10 billion US dollars in freight-related payments this year.
Yeah, this year we're on track to process 10 billion in freight. I would say that's going to be somewhere between 3 to 3.5 million transactions. We've pretty much seen, growth rates over the last 2 years of anywhere from 7 to 10% a month, sometimes depending upon just the cycles within the industry. What's probably more exciting is that we're onboarding twice the amount of users month over month this year than we were last year. So our trajectory is growing on the amount of dollars that we're processing, the amount of customers that we're onboarding, and obviously the total number of transactions that we're processing through the system.
Thomas, tell us about the pace of digitalization in the logistics sector right now in the COVID period or the pandemic. period of last 15 months, we have seen the pace of digitalization really accelerating. I think the digital transformation that happened in the last 15 months in the normal circumstance outside COVID would have taken it probably about 6 to 7 years. So how do you look at the pace of digitalization in the logistics sector? And is that across all modes of transport, or is the sea freight much more open to or there's a faster pace of digitalization in the ocean freight?
It's a good question. I've been involved now with PayCargo, and I've definitely seen a transformation within the industry. A lot of it driven by COVID over the last 18 months or so. The conversation has changed from a matter of, well, I want this versus I need this. And it's across all sectors. That we work with ocean, rail, warehousing, trucking. We touch just about anybody that facilitates the movement of cargo is in our customer pipeline, and the demand is very broad. There's a lot of investment, as you've seen, going into the industry. I think that now more than ever, there's an acceptance of not only the need and the want to have more digital tools to create efficiency and prevent any sort of slowdown that we saw in early COVID because they didn't have the digital tools to handle the world from a remote standpoint. The nice thing that's exciting for us is PayCargo is the neutral payment platform, and for us, we're in a unique position where we can work with all of these different digital solutions to provide the payment and data piece associated with it. So we're uniquely positioned to grow as all of this investment and growth of the digital era within logistics supply chain.
Thomas, thanks for talking to us. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
This is all for the moment. For the latest news on air freight, keep visiting stattimes.com. Follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Visit and subscribe our YouTube channel for exclusive one-to-one interviews with global logistic leaders and for recordings of all our past webinars and virtual conferences.